15 unpleasant things seniors do as they age that no one tells you. You ever walk into a room and just stand there, wondering what in the world you came in for? Yeah, it happens. More often than we'd like to admit. Or maybe you sat down to tie your shoes and suddenly needed a nap right after? Well, welcome to aging. Not the storybook version they show in commercials, but the real deal. See, after 50 years of working with older adults, I've noticed something. Aging isn't just about wrinkles or gray hair. No, it's the small, quiet, sometimes frustrating changes that catch you off guard. And the truth is, no one really warns you about them. So today, I want to walk beside you through 15 of the most unexpected and unpleasant things that can happen as we age. Things nobody talks about, but everybody feels. And hey, don't worry, I won't just leave you hanging. I've got real, doable advice for each one. Let's get into the first one. Sudden exhaustion. I remember one gentleman used to mow his lawn, clean the gutters, and grill dinner all in one afternoon. Now, just walking to the mailbox wears him out. And let me tell you, he's not lazy, not by a long shot. He's just aging. See, as we get older, our muscles shrink, our metabolism slows, and our body doesn't bounce back like it used to. Even simple tasks, making lunch, sweeping the porch, can leave us feeling wiped out. But here's the thing. You're not broken. Your body's just asking you to slow down, to listen. So pace yourself. Take breaks. Hydrate. Snack smart. And above all, don't beat yourself up. Resting isn't weakness. It's wisdom. Now, speaking of changes that creep up on us, there's another one that can be just as frustrating and a little embarrassing when it happens in public. Let's talk about forgetting names, even the ones you've known for years. Point 2, forgetting names. So there you are, standing in the grocery store, and someone waves at you with a big smile. You smile back, but inside, you're thinking, oh no, what's their name again? Sound familiar? It happens. More than we'd like. And let me tell you, it doesn't mean you're losing your mind. It just means your brain's juggling a lot these days. As we age, short-term memory gets a little fuzzy. Names, appointments, even where we left the dang remote, they all start to slip. But here's a tip. Keep a little notebook, or even use your phone. Jot down names, faces, details. And if you forget, just ask again, with kindness and humor. Most people appreciate the effort. Now, while memory lapses are frustrating, there's another change that can leave us feeling just as powerless. And that's lying in bed, staring at the ceiling, wishing for sleep that just won't come. Point 3, trouble sleeping. You ever wake up at 2 or 3 in the morning, wide awake, staring into the dark? Yeah, sleep used to come easy, didn't it? But now, your body's tired, but your mind just keeps going, spinning through old memories, worries, tomorrow's to-do list. It's one of the most common, but rarely talked about, challenges in our later years. Why? Well, our internal clock, the one that used to knock us out by 9 p.m., starts shifting. Hormones change, and let's not forget the aches, medications, or even stress. But here's the good news. You're not helpless. A gentle routine before bed, like light stretching or deep breathing, can calm the body. Avoid caffeine after lunch. Keep the bedroom cool, quiet, and dark, like a cave. And if you need a nap during the day, take it. Just keep it short. Now, while sleepless nights are tough, there's another change that creeps in quietly and shows up on the bathroom scale. Point 4, unexpected weight gain. I had a woman once tell me, "Doc, I'm eating the same, walking the same, but my pants are lying to me." She wasn't imagining things. As we age, our metabolism slows down, muscle mass shrinks, and fat, especially around the belly, sneaks in. And the worst part? You feel like you're doing everything right. But the scale doesn't seem to care. Here's the truth. Even if your activity hasn't changed, your body has. What used to be enough might not cut it anymore. That's why portion control becomes key. Focus on nutrient-rich foods, leafy greens, lean proteins, healthy fats, and move daily, even if it's just a 20-minute stroll or some light strength work. It's not about being skinny, it's about feeling strong. Now, while weight can change without warning, so can our ability to focus. Ever pick up a book, and 5 minutes later, your mind's already somewhere else? Point 5. Trouble concentrating. You ever sit down with a good book, and 5 pages in, you realize you've been staring at the same sentence? Yep, I've been there too. Back in the day, you could read a whole novel in one afternoon. Now, your eyes are moving, but your mind is off thinking about dinner, the weather, or that funny thing your grandson said last week. That's not failure. It's just your brain asking for a different kind of stimulation. Focus tends to fade as we age, but it can be rebuilt. Try puzzles, crosswords, word games. Keep reading, but in shorter chunks. Give your brain little snacks instead of full meals. And hey, learn something new. A hobby, a musical instrument, even a new recipe. It keeps the mind sharp and the spirit curious. But speaking of emotions, there's another shift that sneaks up on many of us. And it's not in the mind, it's in the heart. Point 6. Mood swings and irritability. You ever catch yourself snapping over something small, and then wonder, why did that bother me so much? Maybe it's a noisy commercial, a misplaced remote, or someone chewing just a little too loud, and suddenly, your patience is gone. You're not mean, you're not turning into someone else, you're just feeling more. As we age, our emotional responses can become sharper, thanks to hormonal shifts, fatigue, and just the wear and tear of life. We've carried a lot over the years, and sometimes it shows. But here's the lifeline: awareness. When you notice the frustration bubbling up, pause, take a breath, step outside, write it down. And at the end of the day, jot down 3 small things you're grateful for. It sounds simple, but it works. Now, while emotions may run high, movement can start running low. Let's talk about how everyday tasks, like bending down or tying your shoes, can suddenly feel like climbing a mountain. Point 7. Everyday movements becoming more difficult. Approx. 150 words. You know, it used to be nothing to bend over and pick something up. Tie your shoes. Reach that top cabinet. But now, it feels like your body's arguing with you. One gentleman told me, "Doc, I used to jump out of bed. Now I sort of negotiate with it." And I get it. As we age, flexibility fades, joints stiffen, muscles weaken. What once was effortless becomes, well, effort. But you don't have to surrender to it. A few minutes a day of gentle stretching, yes, even from a chair, can make a world of difference. Add light strength work for your legs and core. And most of all, take it slow. Your body deserves patience. You're not weak. You're wise. And every movement you can still do is worth celebrating. Now, speaking of the body, have you noticed the thermostat in your house feels off, even though no one else seems to notice the cold or the heat? Point 8. Sensitivity to temperature. You ever notice how everyone else seems comfortable while you're either freezing in a cardigan or sweating through your shirt? It's not just in your head. As we age, our internal thermostat doesn't work like it used to. The body loses some of its ability to regulate temperature. So heat feels hotter, and cold feels bone deep. One woman told me, "I used to love winter walks. Now I dread stepping outside." But here's the fix. Layers. Soft fleece in winter. Breathable cotton in summer. Keep a warm blanket nearby, and in the hotter months, use fans, cool cloths, or even a chilled water bottle against the neck. Little changes, big comfort. And remember, just because they're fine doesn't mean you have to be. Now, I've shared the first 8, and I want to ask you, which one hit home for you the most? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one. All right, let's explore the last 7. And trust me, number 13 might just surprise you. Point 9, frequent doctor appointments. You ever feel like your calendar is just one long list of doctor visits? Blood tests on Monday, checkup on Wednesday, follow-up next week, and suddenly it feels like your whole life revolves around waiting rooms and lab coats. But here's the truth. Those appointments, they're not a burden. They're a blessing. They mean you're watching over yourself. You're staying ahead of the curve, catching issues early, and giving your future self a fighting chance. To make it easier, keep a simple health journal. Track symptoms, questions, medications. Bring it to every visit. And set reminders so nothing slips through the cracks. You're not being overcautious. You're being smart. And hey, give yourself credit for showing up. That alone takes strength. Now, while health visits keep us physically in check, there's another part of aging that affects how we connect with the world, especially when your eyes and ears aren't quite what they used to be. Point 10, declining vision and hearing. Ever sat in a noisy restaurant, smiling and nodding, even though you didn't catch half the conversation? Or maybe the text on a label looks like it's shrinking every year? It's not your imagination. As we age, our senses begin to fade quietly, until one day we realize we're missing parts of the world around us. But here's the thing, there's no shame in it. None. Glasses, hearing aids, magnifiers, these aren't signs of weakness. They're tools of connection. Regular checkups can make a world of difference. A new prescription, a properly fitted hearing device. It can bring life back into conversations, music, books, the little joys. Because being present, truly present, starts with being able to hear and see what matters most. And while sensory loss can create distance, sometimes the greatest distance comes not from our eyes or ears, but from our hearts when we start to feel alone. Point 11, loneliness and social isolation. You ever sit in a quiet house and realize it's a little too quiet? Maybe the phone doesn't ring as much. The visits slow down, friends move away or pass on. And even if you're surrounded by people, something inside still feels distant. Loneliness isn't always loud. Sometimes it just slips in, slowly, and settles into the space where connection used to be. But here's what I've learned. Connection doesn't have to be big to be meaningful. A weekly call, a neighborly chat, joining a local group or online community, volunteering, even smiling at a stranger in the store. You still have so much to offer. Your presence still matters. And while feeling lonely is deeply human, learning to receive support, that's a whole other challenge. Let's talk about how needing help with simple things, like groceries or chores, can stir up feelings we never expected. Point 12. Needing help feels like losing independence. There's something about asking for help that just doesn't sit right with a lot of us. You spent your whole life being the one others leaned on, raising kids, fixing things, running the show. And now, you need a hand carrying groceries or remembering which pill to take. It stings. I know. But here's a truth I've come to embrace. Accepting help doesn't make you weaker. It makes you wiser. Asking isn't giving up. It's choosing to use your energy where it counts. On what brings you joy, not just survival. Friends, family, neighbors, even hired help. They want to show up for you. Let them. Because letting someone in, that's not losing independence. That's sharing the journey. Now, we've covered a lot of emotional ground. But let me ask you this. Have you ever quietly worried? Will my money last? Let's talk about something most folks don't like to admit. Financial anxiety in retirement. Point 13. Financial anxiety in retirement. You might not say it out loud, but late at night, when the house is quiet, the thought creeps in. What if my money runs out? It's a quiet fear many seniors carry. Rising costs, medical bills, unexpected repairs, retirement doesn't always feel as secure as we hoped. And you know what? You're not alone. It's okay to feel that way. But let's not stay stuck in the worry. Start by taking a clear look at what you do have. Make a simple budget. Look into benefits like Medicare, SNAP, or senior property tax relief. Resources that are there for you. And if it all feels overwhelming, talk to a financial advisor who understands retirement living. There's power in facing the numbers. It puts you back in the driver's seat. Now, sometimes it's not about money at all. It's about how we're seen or not seen in a world that's moving faster every day. Point 14. Feeling invisible in public spaces. You ever walk into a store and feel like no one even sees you? The cashier talks to the person behind you. The server calls you sweetie, but never really makes eye contact. It's like the world is moving around you, not with you. That kind of invisibility cuts deep. After all the years you've lived, worked, loved, suddenly you feel faded into the background. But here's what I know. You haven't disappeared. You still have wisdom, stories, value. Sometimes the world just needs a little reminder. So speak up, share your thoughts, mentor someone, write your memories down. Let the world feel your presence again. Because age doesn't make you less. It makes you more. And while invisibility can be painful, there's one more feeling that might sneak in, even deeper than that. It's that quiet whisper of regret. Wondering, did I miss my chance? Let's talk about that next. Point 15. Regret over missed dreams. Sometimes it hits you out of nowhere. You're sitting by the window, watching the sun go down, and a thought crosses your mind. I always wanted to write a book, or start that little garden, or take that trip. And then comes the whisper. Maybe it's too late. But here's what I'll tell you. Heart to heart, it's never too late for something new. The dream might look different now, smaller, quieter, but it still matters. Because what you do now, it still writes your story. Take that class, plant that seed, share that memory. Heck, even sing that old song you never had the courage to before. You've got time, not to chase everything, but to embrace something. Now that we've walked through these 15 quiet, honest truths of aging, I want to turn it over to you. Which one felt the most familiar? Was it the exhaustion? The forgetfulness? Maybe that tug of regret that shows up when you least expect it? Drop it in the comments below. I truly do read them all. And when you share, you're not just telling your story. You're reminding someone else they're not alone. And if you've got a little trick, a daily habit, or even just a kind word to offer, share that too. We're all in this season of life together. And the beauty of growing older is that we get to learn from each other. Now, before we wrap things up, let me leave you with one final thought. Because aging might come with challenges, but it also comes with choices. You see, aging doesn't have to mean fading away. It can mean slowing down with purpose, choosing joy over hurry, connection over perfection. Sure, our bodies shift, our minds wander, and life asks more of us than it used to. But we're not powerless. We adapt, we grow, we become more ourselves than we've ever been. So whatever season you're in right now, tired, hopeful, frustrated, peaceful, just know this. You're not broken. You're becoming something deeper. And if this video spoke to your heart, I hope you'll give it a like. Maybe subscribe. And most of all, share it with someone who needs to hear these words today. I can't wait to walk with you again soon. Until then, be gentle with yourself. You've come a long way. Take care, my friend. You've still got so much life to live.